Welcome to Yatim Khana and Madrasa Anjuman Khairul Islam's Pune College of Art, Science and Commerce Camp Pune 1. Myself, Dr. Arif Tamboli, working as Associate Professor in the Department of Electronic Science. Students, in the last lecture, that is second lecture, we have studied the block diagram of communication system. And in that block diagram of communication system, in communication channel, noise gets introduced. And we have just taken a note of that noise and we have simply classified that noise as internal noise and external noise, and few examples are given. In today's lecture we are going to study the noise in detail, and due to noise the thermal voltage, so noise, that is noise voltage, is developed, and that noise voltage equation we are going to calculate. So today's topic is noise in electronic communication, and due to this noise, whatever noise voltage will be developed, that noise voltage equation we are going to calculate, then equations for signal to noise ratio, noise power, and noise temperature. So all these parameters which we are going to study. So as discussed in the second lecture, that is the block diagram of communication system, types of noises are basically two types: external noise and internal noise. So the basically noise is classified in electronic communication as external noise and internal noise. So now we are going to study all the different types of the noises. So here the noise is basically classified as external noise and internal noise. So what are the examples of external noise? So examples of external noise are atmospheric noise, extraterritorial noise, and industrial noise. So external noises examples are atmospheric noise, extraterritorial noise, industrial noise. What is the example of internal noise? Internal noise is called thermal noise and short noise. Short, SHOT. SHORT, not it is. So short circuit is something different, and this is short noise. So short noise occurs due to random arrival of electron. Short noise occurs due to random arrival of the electron, and the example of short noise is in CRT, cathode ray tube. A very high voltage is applied between anode and cathode, and there are accelerating anodes, and the electrons are knocked out from cathode. So that is an example of a short noise. So we are going to study slowly. So all these things. So in this way here, this is a general chart, you can say that. Now let us go to the types of noises again. So what is a noise that is given over here? An undesired coupling. That is, coupling means energy transfer. Coupling means connection between two electronic circuits. So when you connect one electronic circuit to another electronic circuit, the energy will get transferred. So undesired coupling means energy transferred from one circuit or medium to another. From one circuit or medium to another. So again, this noise is classified as internal noise and external noise. So internal noise is what? Due to random movement of the electrons in electronic circuit. So internal noise occurs due to random movement of electron. Electron movement is done when we apply an electric field in particular direction. But when we don't apply the electric field, external electric field, at that time also, due to temperature surrounding to that component, the random movement of the electron takes place, and that random movement of the electron in electronic circuits is nothing but your major region of internal noise, and that is called thermal oblique Johnson's noise. Second example of internal noise is your SHOT, short noise, random arrival of the electron. That is what I told you. So the random movement or random arrival of the electron at any point. Now what are the external noises which are not under our control? So that is a man-made noise and natural resources. So here lightning, in rainy season the lightning takes place. So that lightning is an example of external noise. Solar noise. So sun is the one of the example of external noise, because on the surface of the sun fusion and fission processes are taking place, and because of that the radiations are continuously going on from the sun surface. Ignition, so when we start the two-wheeler, at that time the battery is connected to that electronic starter and there is a spark, so ignition noise is also there. Or when we start the four-wheeler, then crosstalk. In communication, crosstalk occurs means when one signal is get overlap with other signal, so these are the external noises. And here, any phenomena by which a signal transmitted on one frequency creates an undesired effect on other frequency, that is also called as noise. So now let us proceed here then. So internal noise and external noise. So here again, internal noise is basically inside the components, inside the component or instrument, you can say that. So major sources of internal noise are your three components. Number one, semiconductor component, PN junction diode, BJT, and resistor. Any resistor which is made from either metal film resistor or carbon composition resistor or wire wound resistor. So these three components are basically example of what creating the internal noise. So internal noise, that is a one thermal noise, short noise, random arrival of the electron. Then transit time noise. Transit time means whenever sudden change in the voltage takes place from 0 to 1 or 1 to 0. So at that time, that is a transit time. Then miscellaneous noise. Then here again external noise, that is the atmospheric noise, extraterritorial noise, industrial noise. In industry, so many boilers and heat is radiated, so radiation of the heat also is a source of a noise. Then so many types of motors, single phase, three phase motors are there, so that because of that motors there is a noise. And then the man-made noise, as I told you, when you start the two-wheeler, when you start the four-wheeler, so that is like that the example. Now in this slide the examples are given for the internal noise. So internal noise is basically a thermal noise, and today this thermal noise, by using the understanding the thermal noise, we are going to calculate thermal voltage, or that is sorry, noise voltage. So voltage developed by the thermal noise, voltage developed by the thermal noise is a noise voltage. So as I told you, the thermal noise is a very important parameter in communication, because in communication, basically electronic communication, transistors, diodes, and resistor, these components are used. So without this component, one cannot design an electronic circuit in communication. So these three components are widely used in communication. So and these three components are responsible for thermal noise. So these three components are responsible for thermal noise, and because of that thermal noise voltage gets created. Noise voltage, Vn, V for voltage, N for noise. Then short noise, so electronic systems and that equipment. So as I told you, CRO, cathode ray tube, random arrival of the electrons, so sudden arrival of the electron. Then flicker noise in the tubes, flicker noise. In the second lecture, I have told about flickering noise. When you are watching the TV, sometime television screen flickers. Television screen flickers means what happens? The entire screen is repeated 4 or 5 times or 6 or 7 times in 1 second. Therefore, you say that the television screen is flickering. Whereas if the same screen repeats 25 times in 1 second, then we do not complete. We say that the screen is steady state, means stationary. So in this way here, if the 25 frames in 1 second are repeated, then human being cannot observe 25-second frames in 1 second, and then we say that the television screen is not flickering. So the flickering is occurs because if vertical scanning frequency is low. Vertical scanning frequency means repeating of a whole screen and one entire screen in 1 second. So if it is repeating 25 times, then it is a 25 hertz, and accordingly. Now let us come to the external man-made noise. So here automobile engine, when you start the engine, so ignition is given, battery is 12 volt is connected to the electronic starter, then here electric motors, and then computer. All these are the man-made noises. Space noise, so that is a solar noise and sky noise. Solar noise, as I told you, that on the surface of the sun, fission and fusion processes are taking place. In sky noise, there are various types of the layer. One is the ionic layer, and the sky noise is also one of the factor in external noise. And then atmospheric noise blanking. So in this way, generally the noise is classified as internal noise and external noise. So in internal noise, we are today morely focusing on thermal noise. Because of thermal noise voltage gets created, and that calculation we are interested in this, because we are studying communication principal course, electronic communication, and these components are noise creating components, transistors, diodes, and resistors. Now, sources of noise, let us see here. So, internal noise and external noise. Internal noise is again the same thing due to the random movement of the electron in electronic circuit, electronic component in a receiver circuit, electronic components in a receiver circuit or transmitter circuit. You can say that resistors, diode, transistors are major sources of internal noise. So this is important, are major sources of internal noise. So thermal, that is also called as agitation noise, agitation. Then short noise, random arrival of the electron. Then transit time noise, sudden change in the voltages. External noise, man-made noise, natural resources. External noise comes from sources over which we have little or no control. So in case of industrial sources, motors, generators, three-phase motor, single-phase motor, electric generators, manufactured equipment, then atmospheric sources, satellite electricity, and in this way, a speaker is also one of the noise creating problem. Speaker, when we don't apply any input signal to the speaker, but when there is a voltage in speaker, there is a magnet, and to that magnet, when the voltage is applied but no signal is given, that also creates a noise. So speaker, when there is no signal present. So now let us come to the next slide, that is noise. Particularly, we cannot avoid the existence of unwanted signal together with the modulated signal transmitted by the transmitter. So when we uh, transmit the signal with the help of a transmitter, we cannot avoid the existence of unwanted signal. This unwanted signal is called as noise. So unwanted signal is called as noise. Noise is a random signal that exists in a communication system. That exists in a communication system. So random signal cannot be represented with a simple mathematical equation. Random signal cannot be represented with a simple mathematical equation. It's a complex term. The existence of a noise will degrade the level of quality of the received signal at the receiver. And in the next slide, we are going to study what are the effects of the noise on our signal when we are transmitting from one location to another location. So noise effects degrades the system performance for both analog as well as digital system. So whenever we are transmitting the information from one location to another location, either analog information or digital information, the performance of that signal gets what degraded. The receiver cannot understand the sender, means receiver cannot understand the sender, what the sender is sending if the noise is too much large. The receiver cannot function as it should be. The receiver cannot function as it should be. Reduce the efficiency of communication system. So noise reduces the efficiency of communication system. And now this is our point of important, thermal noise. So thermal noise is basically generated inside the component resistor, transistor, diode. Transistor means not only bipolar junction BJT transistor, there is a MOSFET. So metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistors and all semiconductor components. So here thermal noise is also called as a Johnson noise or Nyquist noise. Johnson noise or Nyquist noise is the electronic noise. This thermal noise is an electronic noise. So you will understand now, because of the motion of the electron from the one atom to another atom due to the thermal excitation. So that noise is there. It is electronic noise generated by the thermal agitation, generated by the thermal agitation of a charge carriers, that is the electrons. Thermal agitation, that is the charge carriers, that is the electron, because electron is a charged particle inside an electrical conductor in equilibrium, inside an electrical conductor in equilibrium, which happens regardless of any applied voltage. And this is important, which happens regardless of any applied voltage. So what the confusion takes place, that confusion takes place that the noise voltage Vn is developed when we apply the voltage at that time only. No, basically try to understand the noise voltage is developed because of the thermal noise, because of the thermal noise, and thermal noise is a internal noise. Thermal noise is a internal noise. Now when any component such as a semiconductor component manufactured by n-type semiconductor, p-type semiconductor is exposed to external heat, is exposed to the external heat, at that time what will happen, at that time, this diagram, just you observe it, and we are going to conclude in a sentence here. Any atomic structure is there. So when we keep this atomic structure very close to high temperature, or when we increase the temperature surrounding to this structure, then what will happen, interatomic distance will get increase or decrease. So atoms are set into thermal vibrations. Atom will be set into thermal vibration, and electron also will be set into thermal vibration. So that is happening because of the atomic structure, and the vibration will be different for different setup of the atoms, the atomic structure. And that is why it is said that without thermal noise, here see, here, which happens regardless of any applied voltage, so any component when it is not applied to any electronic voltage, external voltage, and exposed to the heat, at that time thermal noise gets created inside that, and that thermal noise is nothing but the noise due to the excitation of the electron thermally. In short, noise due to the excitation of the electrons thermally. Electron also gets excited due to an electric field which is applied to the that component, but here that is not there without any, regardless of any applied voltage. Movement of the electrons will form kinetic energy in the conductor, and this movement of the electron, that is the vibrations, thermal vibrations, will form kinetic energy in the conductor. So any semiconductor component resistor is a conductor related to the temperature of the conductor, related to the temperature of the conductor. Now this thermal noise is created due to another reason, that is what, when we apply the voltage to the semiconductor component, at that time, due to excess heat in the semiconductor component, due to excess current which is flowing in the semiconductor component, at that time also temperature of that semiconductor component increases, and that temperature also causes for thermal noise. That is when we apply the external electrical voltage. But even though if you don't apply the external electrical voltage, and if you expose that component to a very high temperature, at that time the movement of the electron will form the kinetic energy in conductor related to the temperature of the conductor. When the temperature increases, the movement of the free electron will also increase. So as the temperature increases, the movement of the free electron also increases, means vibrations of the electron will also increase, and that will create a noise voltage, and that is why it is said regardless of any applied voltage, so this is important. So in short, what a thermal noise is, a noise which is taking place into a semiconductor components like your PN junction diode, BJT, MOSFET, or a resistor which is having the material as carbon composed resistor, metal film resistor, wire wound resistor. So in this way, that when it is exposed to a high temperature due to the excitations of the electron, so here the kinetic energy in the conductor increases and free electrons will increase. The moment of the free electron increases because of the external temperature, which will create noise voltage Vn, which will create noise voltage Vn, V for voltage, N for noise. Now noise voltage Vn is influenced by the temperature and therefore it is called thermal noise. The noise temperature is influenced by the temperature and therefore it is called thermal noise. So no, actually speaking, due to thermal noise only, the noise voltage gets generated. Due to thermal noise only, the noise voltage gets generated. So here noise voltage is influenced by the temperature. That is what here, due to thermal noise only, the noise voltage is generated. And we will see now slowly. As explained above, due to thermal excitation of electrons, noise voltage Vn is created and random movement of electron as temperature increases, vibrations of the electron also goes on increasing. And here random movement of the electron offers certain resistance which is called noise resistance, because electron will get collide to each other and upon collision heat will develop, and that motion of the electron moment of the electron offers certain resistance which is called noise resistance, and noise resistance is Rn. R means resistance, N means noise. So three factors are there: thermal noise, then noise voltage and noise resistance. So noise voltage is developed because of thermal noise. Noise voltage is developed because of thermal noise, and due to excitation of the electron, collision of the electron with each other, the noise resistance also gets developed. So in this way, three parameters are there are very much related to each other, and due to this fact, the power delivered from transmitter to receiver decreases. And due to this fact, the power delivered from transmitter to receiver decreases. So now it is very important to know the equation for noise voltage Vn. So voltage Vn is in existence because of thermal noise. For this purpose, let us consider the source of noise voltage Vn. So noise voltage is developed because of thermal noise. So we have to consider that source of noise voltage. So there is a source of noise voltage. We have to consider Vn and noise resistance Rn. And noise resistance Rn, because of the collision of the electron with each other, the resistance is developed. So in this way here, noise resistance and noise voltage are related to each other, and these both are because of thermal noise. And thermal noise is internal noise. So connected Rn connected to a load resistance RL. So now what we'll do it here, we'll consider that there is a noise voltage and there is a noise resistance. So this noise voltage and noise resistance will connect to any load resistance RL to which the power is to be delivered, or transferred as shown below. So in this way here, this much part in the circle, see here, this much part in the dotted blue circle is our transistor, PN junction diode or resistor. And inside that component, due to thermal noise voltage get developed and noise resistance also get developed inside that component. Now this noise voltage and noise resistance Rn, what we'll do, we'll connect it to the external load resistance RL. And suppose this external load resistance is our receiver circuit, and suppose this is a transmitter circuit. So power delivered from transmitter to the receiver, this is RL, is what your receiver circuit, and this inside that blue circle is our transmitter. In short, we'll consider like that. So this is our component that which is used in communication principles, electronic communication. And this is what noise voltage and noise resistance inside that component because of thermal noise. Thermal noise is the internal noise. So this is a hierarchy you have to remember. So now let us connect a RL to that particular component which is having noise voltage and noise resistance. So now this circuit is equivalent to what here? See, noise voltage Vn is here only. Only this horizontal we have taken vertical, and RL is here. So this is the potential divider circuit studied by you. So in potential divider circuit, the voltage at the junction is calculated by the equation VRL. This is RL, load resistance. VRL equal to lower resistor divided by upper plus lower resistor into V in, source of voltage, into V in, source of voltage. But our source of voltage V in is what? Noise voltage. Therefore, we have written Vn. And this is very simple potential divider formula. Two resistor Rn is the upper, RL is the lower. So lower resistor divided by upper plus lower into input voltage whatever, and our input voltage is the noise voltage. Now we will consider that our these two resistors are equal. Why? Because maximum power if you want to deliver from transmitter to receiver, from transmitter to receiver, in that case R out should be equal to R in, and that is what the maximum power transfer theorem. Output resistance should be equal to input resistance. That's why we'll consider these both are same. And if you put that same value here, let us consider, let us calculate the power delivered by source of voltage, that is noise voltage, to the load resistance RL. So Rn is our noise resistor. Rn and Vn are inside our component, transistor, diode, resistor, and here this is our outside component to which we are delivering the power. So now here if you substitute RL equal to R in, then you will say it is half, means voltage across RL is equal to Vn divided by 2. Very simple. And power across any component is given by the equation P is equal to V into I. We will come to that. Power across any component is given by the equation P is equal to V into I, where V is the voltage across that component. And now voltage across this component is how much? You see here, when this and these are same, Vn divided by 2. So we'll calculate that power slowly. So if RL is equal to Rn, then VRL is equal to Vn divided by 2. VRL is equal to Vn divided by 2 because these two resistors are same. Here it will be R, here will be 2R, RR will get cancelled 1 by 2. So here this is VRL is equal to Vn by 2. But power P is equal to V into I. Power P is equal to V into I, and V is equal to I into R, and V is equal to I into R. Therefore, see here, we want to substitute everything in terms of voltage. Why? Because we are applying noise voltage Vn to that load resistor RL. So we have to substitute everything in terms of voltage. So we have to remove that current term here. So now V is equal to I into R. Therefore, I is equal to V by R, and this value of I will substitute in the power equation. This value of I will substitute in the power equation. I is equal to V by R. Power P is equal to V into I. Therefore, P is equal to V square divided by R. P is equal to V square divided by R. Very simple. Now, what is this power? This power which we want to calculate across this resistor, and power across that resistor is equal to voltage across that resistor into current flowing through that resistor. So in this way here, this power P, which we got converted into the V square divided by R, because P is equal to V into I, V is equal to I into R, therefore I is equal to V by R. Substitute this I over here, and then we will get P is equal to, this V is nothing but voltage across load resistor, VRL square. Because here V square we got, we converted everything in terms of voltage divided by R. Now, what is VRL? Voltage across load resistor we calculated, that is Vn by 2. Voltage across load resistor we calculated, that is Vn by 2. Therefore, the equation becomes very simple. For power across that load resistor RL is equal to VRL square divided by R, and VRL is equal to Vn divided by 2. So this Vn divided by 2, if you substitute here, then that will come Vn square, and 2 square will come 4, and this R is there. So power across that particular resistor RL, which we connected to the noise voltage and noise resistor, is equal to Vn square divided by 4R. Therefore, if you rearrange the term, Vn is equal to under root 4PR. Vn is equal to under root 4PR, where P is the power. P is the power across that particular resistor, where P is the power developed across this particular resistor, and that resistor now RL is removed and there is R. because we have considered Rn and RL are same. So in this way, we got the equation for Vn is equal to noise voltage is equal to under root 4PR. So up to this equation, everything is simple mathematics. Power P is equal to V into I, V is equal to I into R, and substitute that. And here also it is very simple potential divider logic. Voltage across this resistor, when we take it same, then this Vn by 2. So Vn is the noise voltage, and in this way the noise voltage term comes into this power, and therefore Vn is equal to under root 4PR. Now, what is this P? As we told, P is the power developed across that resistor R. In above equation, P is the power delivered by the noise voltage Vn. Power delivered by the noise voltage Vn. Therefore, it is nothing but noise power Pn. Therefore, it is nothing but noise power Pn, because power developed across this resistor is due to the voltage which is called noise voltage. Therefore, that power is nothing but noise power, that is Pn. So in this way here, that noise power is Pn is here, this P. But so here instead of P we are writing now Pn, that is a noise power. And why it is that? Because that power developed is because of noise voltage which is applied to that resistor. Now this is a standard. Pn, noise power, is equal to KTB. This is a standard, and this standard is given by one scientist. The name of that scientist is called Boltzmann's constant. Boltzmann constant. So Boltzmann derived this equation. We don't have to worry. We have to simple remember. Noise power is equal to KTB. Now what is KTB? K is Boltzmann's constant. K is Boltzmann's constant. T is the temperature in degree Kelvin. T is the temperature in degree Kelvin, and B is the bandwidth of communication channel. B is the bandwidth of communication channel, because in communication channel there are so many metals are used, metallic communication channel, fiber optic communication channel, and like that. So bandwidth of communication channel. So noise power KTB you have to remember. Then this noise power you have put it here, then you will get the equation for noise as a Vn, noise voltage. Vn, noise voltage, equal to under root 4 kTBR, under root 4 kTBR, and this is our first equation which we have to remember, because there are so many examples which are asked. Calculate the noise voltage given, temperature in degree Kelvin, bandwidth is given, resistance is given, K is a constant. So that constant K is also given. Now here see where K is equal to Boltzmann's constant, 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 3 joule per Kelvin. 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 3 joule per Kelvin, and therefore in this calculation it is joule per Kelvin, K. Therefore temperature is also taken in Kelvin. Therefore per Kelvin and this Kelvin, Kelvin will get cancelled. So therefore here temperature is not taken in degree centigrade, it is converted into degree Kelvin. T is equal to temperature into bracket degree Kelvin. B is equal to bandwidth of spectrum system. So and bandwidth is nothing but F2 minus F1. Means suppose the communication channel is having 84 megahertz and 100 megahertz, two signals. So 100 minus 84 megahertz is your bandwidth, F2 minus F1, like that. And here we'll take one example immediately. So the example is very simple. One operational amplifier with a frequency range 18 to 20 megahertz. So 18 megahertz to 20 megahertz is the frequency spectrum. Therefore, bandwidth will be 20 megahertz minus 18 megahertz, 2 megahertz. Okay, has input resistance 10 kilo ohm. So resistance value R is given. Calculate the noise voltage, that is Vn, at the input if the amplifier operates at ambient temperature of 27 degrees centigrade. So bandwidth, first of all, we have to calculate. FH, higher frequency, minus FL, lower frequency. So 18 to 20 megahertz was the spectrum range. So here 20 megahertz minus 18 megahertz will give 2 megahertz bandwidth. And equation for noise voltage Vn, you know, under root. So you take square on both sides, so that square root will get cancelled. So Vn square is equal to 4 kTBR. Substitute 4 as a 4, K as a 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 uh, Kelvin per joule. Okay, so sorry, joule per Kelvin. So it is there. So into, now see here the temperature is given 27 degrees centigrade, but we have to convert this into degree Kelvin by adding 273 into your B is the bandwidth. So bandwidth is how much? 2 megahertz. So 2 into 10 raised to plus 6. And value of resistor R is given 10 kilo ohm. 10 kilo ohm means 10 into 10 raised to plus 3 means 10 raised to 4. And in this way, this calculation is very simple. You will get noise voltage is equal to 18 microvolt. Imagine how much low it is, 18 microvolt. Of course, the noise voltage is in microvolt only. The noise voltage is in microvolt only. And in this way, that is very simple part. Now there are so many other equations. Let us go for that also. And they are very simple. So after calculating the noise voltage, Vn is equal to under root 4 kTBR. So after calculating the noise voltage, we will go to the signal to noise ratio. Signal to noise ratio. The strength of the signal must be very, very large as compared to the strength of the noise. So signal to noise ratio, it is called SNR. SNR means signal to noise ratio. And very simple definition it is there. Signal to noise ratio, and it is the ratio of signal power of the signal. P means power, S means signal. It is the ratio of power of signal to the noise power, to the noise power. And noise power, again power is P, N is noise, and it is expressed in decibel. It is expressed in decibel. Therefore SNR means signal to noise ratio is equal to 10 log power of the signal to the power of noise. It is the ratio of power of the signal to the power of noise, and dB. dB means decibel. So this equation is also important, that as equation number 2 you remember. Now in this equation, as we have done the calculation for power is equal to P is equal to V into I, but V is equal to I into R. V is equal to I into R, and I is equal to V by R. So if you substitute I as a V by R, then you will get what? V square. You will get what? V square. And V square I, power P is equal to, in terms of power P in terms of V and R only, V square R you will get. Okay. So here let us go to that. So very simple. Yes. Power P is equal to, actually speaking, power P is equal to V into I, but V is equal to I into R. And we want to convert, we don't want I over here. So here I is equal to V by R. So power P is equal to V square divided by R. Now if you do like that there, now what is R? R is the output resistance and input resistance, and that we have taken same. This R and this R. And therefore here in this equation, remember, in this equation, why there is no R? Because upper R and lower R get cancelled with each other because they are same, and V square at the upper side also and V square at the lower side also. So if you take that square as a common, then that 2 will come here, and 10 into 2 will be 20. 10 into 2 will be 20, and in this way here, if you convert this power, P is equal to V into I, by replacing the current terms of the by the replacing the current term into voltage and resistor, then you will get the signal to noise ratio also as 20. Why this 20 came here? It's a simple mathematics. 20 log to the base of, yes, Vs. Vs means what? Signal voltage. Vs means signal voltage, where Vs is the signal voltage, divided by Vn, noise voltage, and it is also given in dB. So this is also one of the important equation. So the basic thing is what? Signal to noise ratio is nothing but the ratio of signal power to the noise power. Signal power to the noise power. Signal power is given, power is P suffix S. Noise power is given P suffix N. It is expressed in dB, that's why 10 log to the base 10, of course, PS divided by Pn into dB. Now let us go to the one more term, which is again very simple. It is called noise figure, and it is indicated by the symbol capital F. Noise figure. It is defined as the signal to noise ratio at the input. It is defined as the signal to noise ratio at the input to the signal to noise ratio at the output. It is defined as signal to noise ratio at the input to the signal to noise ratio at the output. So in this way, noise figure F is equal to signal to noise ratio. So signal to noise ratio, signal at the input divided by noise at the input. So signal to noise ratio at the input, Si divided by Ni, to the means again divided by signal to noise ratio at the output, S out divided by N out. So out is written by only O, and this is the noise figure. This is the noise figure. And there is one more factor which is called noise factor, So noise factor NF, noise figure is only F. Noise factor NF is equal to 10 log to the F. 10 log to the F. F is what? Noise figure. F is what? Noise figure. Therefore, 10 log to the, this F is nothing but signal to noise ratio at the input to the signal to noise ratio at the output, and this is expressed in dB. So in this way, this is equation number 5th. And there are two more equations which sometime required, sometime don't required. So just look at this equation. Noise current In is equal to under root 2. Whenever current comes into picture, the charge on electron comes into picture. Whenever current comes into picture, the charge on electron comes into picture. And B is nothing but what? Again the bandwidth. B is again bandwidth. Now only I0 factor is what? Bias current. I0 factor is called bias current. So this equation In, noise current, is equal to under root 2q I0b. So I0 is a bias current, Q is the charge on electron, 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. B is the bandwidth of communication channel. Then noise temperature. Noise temperature. So Tn, T means temperature, N means noise, is equal to T0. T0 is what? Absolute temperature, means temperature surrounding to that component, resistor, diode, whatever it is. T0 into bracket NF. NF means noise figure. NF is nothing but your noise figure, which you already studied at the upper side. Here NF is noise figure. Noise figure is the ratio of signal to noise ratio at the input to the signal to noise ratio at the output, and noise figure is your given by the symbol NF. Sorry, capital F, but here it is written NF minus 1. So NF is the noise figure and T0 is the absolute temperature. And in this way, in today's lecture, I think so, we have discussed all about noise. We have discussed all about noise, external noise and internal noise, like that the two major categories are there. And in that we have focused on what noise? Internal noise. We have focused on internal noise because external noise is under not on our control. So in internal noise, the major part is thermal noise. The major part is thermal noise. So because of thermal noise occurs when? Thermal noise occurs whenever that component is exposed to the high temperature. Surrounding temperature of the component increases at that time due to interatomic excitation. The electrons are excited, and upon collision of the electron and excitation of the electron causes number 1, noise voltage Vn, number 2, noise resistor Rn. So these two things are there, noise voltage Vn and noise resistor Rn. Now this, whatever voltage is developed inside that component, noise voltage, along with noise resistor Rn, when we connect that particular component to any other load, at that time, power delivered from that component to that load resistor RL, we have calculated. And to that load resistor, we are connecting what voltage source? Not our voltage source Vn, noise voltage. And therefore, entire calculation goes, and we got succeeded in calculating noise voltage Vn. We got succeeded in calculating noise voltage Vn is equal to under root 4 kTBR. 4 kTBR. And noise power is a standard kTB because it is derived by the Boltzmann's constant, that is Boltzmann scientist. Noise power Pn is kTB. Boltzmann's constant is there. T is temperature in degree Kelvin. B is the bandwidth. So Boltzmann's constant is your 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per degree Kelvin. So in this way, in today's lecture, I hope we have understood all the different types of the noises. So thank you very much. And in next lecture, what we'll proceed for various types of the modulation, analog modulation, digital modulation, angle modulation. So all that type of the modulations we'll study. Thank you very much for watching the video.